Mr. President, the truth eventually will get out. Democrats have spent the last week or two attempting to hedge on photo ID, to suggest that, in fact, Democrats actually support photo ID. It's just the rest of the Save America Act, I should say, that they're concerned about. So on Thursday, the junior Republican senator from Ohio decided to give them an opportunity to do something about it. Not interested in the rest of the Save America Act's common sense proposals? Okay, he said, and he offered a clean photo ID bill. No other provisions, just a measure to require showing photo ID at the polls, which could be a driver's license or state ID card, a passport, a military ID, a tribal ID. And Democrats, Mr. President? Democrats, the party that the Democrat leader said does not object to photo ID, well, Democrats blocked it. So as it turns out, Democrats support photo ID for voters just as long as you don't ask them to actually support a photo ID bill. They want to have their cake and eat it too. Shield themselves from criticism, since polls show Americans overwhelmingly support photo ID for voters, but also save themselves from having to back up their words with actions. Mr. President, I am still waiting for Democrats to come down to the floor and to call out requirements to show photo ID to board a plane. I'm still waiting for them to attack doctors' offices and hotels and movie theaters and banks for requiring photo ID. I'm still waiting for Democrats to explain why it's perfectly logical for them to demand photo ID for their own rallies and yet oppose photo ID at the polls. Is voting the one thing the Democrats don't think should be taken seriously? Do they think voting is so trivial that it really doesn't matter if those coming to vote are who they say they are? Well, I'd like to know, Mr. President. Mr. President, Democrats may have rejected a common sense photo ID measure on Thursday, but they'll have another chance to support common sense today when the Senate votes on an amendment to protect women's sports from being hijacked by men. Over the past few years around the country, we have seen men, biological men who identify as women, take up spaces and medals in athletics meant for actual women. And this is happening across a range of sports: swimming, softball, volleyball, basketball, tennis, and the list goes on. Mr. President, needless to say, men have inherent biological advantages when it comes to sports, things like greater muscle mass and greater aerobic power. That is just a simple scientific fact. And those biological advantages mean that men are likely to dominate in women's sports, taking up medals and opportunities that should belong to women. One female runner had this to say, and I quote, 27 times during my high school career, all 4 years, I had to return to the line and settle into blocks next to first one, then two biologically male athletes to run a race that everyone knew wasn't fair. I lost podium spots, awards, recognition, and 4 state championship titles during my junior year, the time when it was most crucial for college recruitment. My teammates and I watched those 2 athletes dominate the girls' events. They won 15 women's state championship titles, titles that were held by 9 different girls in 2016, set new individual meet records, and eliminated girls from advancement opportunities more than 85 times, end quote. They won 15 women's state championship titles and eliminated girls from advancement opportunities more than 85 times. And that, Mr. President, was the effect of just 2 male athletes in women's track in just one state. And this is happening across the country in a wide range of women's sports. Mr. President, I want to know, are my Democrat colleagues okay with this? Are they okay with 2 biological males eliminating girls from advancement opportunities more than 85 times? Are they okay with the fact that, as the UN reported in 2024, and I quote, "The replacement of the female sports category with the mixed sex category has resulted in an increasing number of female athletes losing opportunities, including medals, when competing against males. According to information received by the 30th of March in 2024, over 600 female athletes in more than 400 competitions have lost more than 890 medals in 29 different sports," end quote. Are Democrats okay with that, Mr. President? They think that's fair? They think women's opportunities to excel should be taken from them by biological males? I want to know. Are Democrats willing to abandon decades of progress in women's sports the minute the transgender lobby comes calling? Well, I guess we'll see today, Mr. President. Do Democrats stand with women? Or they will continue to sacrifice fairness and equality at the altar of radical transgender ideology?